Hi everyone, how are you? This is Gail and we're doing a show on life coaching. So my shows on life coaching include what's going on in your personal life, what is going on maybe intuitively, psychically, and the spiritual aspects of things as well. We don't always include everything in one session, but it's a composite of all those areas because you are a being that has an absolute real everyday life that you deal with, things that you must do and attend to, but you also have an internal life, and that internal life is an emotional one. It is a feeling one. It is an intuitive one. So all of those areas are ones that we look at and that we address and perhaps help you through maybe some of the things that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So we did a reading for March, and in March we had sudden changes coming in. However I worded it, it was for some of you dramatic, unexpected, almost like a complete reversal from where you were heading. So if you had plans and if you had, your life was going really well and things were coming back together in a lot of different ways, you could have been smacked a big one with a reality check and like I said, absolute turnaround. Some of you would have been in relationships. Some of it would have been in your living situation. Some of it would have been with family. Some of it could have been financial or with your work. So any of those areas that you have had massive changes in, I just want to kind of reassure you a little bit that they were 100% necessary for reasons. Now, sometimes we kind of think, well, why? I haven't done anything to create this change. Everything has been seeming to line up. What's happened? And this is where we go, actually, the universe has said, take a break, take a look, think about your life. Think about what has been going on in your life up until now. Change is necessary. Change must happen. Now, this can take quite a long time to come to terms with and come to a point where you can make sense of it. I'm big on making sense out of every situation that goes on in my own personal life, but your life as well. So if you ever have things that don't make sense to you, I invite you to contact me. I invite you to get a perspective that has insight in it, that can give you a broader sense of the dynamic of what is going on and what the people involved are going through. It can help you get a different perspective, reset, look at things in a way you've never thought to look at them before, where they can relate to you in a way where you go, okay, well, then I can understand that maybe. It doesn't fix it, but then maybe I can understand it. And, you know, we are April. We are beginning of April. Beginning of April, we always do the cards. Beginning of every month, we always do the cards for the month. So going back to March a little bit, just because it, for a lot of people, had a huge impact on your life. I just want you to know it was something that needed to change. It could even have been a perception. It could have been a belief that you had about how the life worked and about how things should run. It was necessary for you to be able to look at the reality of your situation. There is this process. Understand this. If you have been broken by what has happened in your life, and this happens where a complete turnaround in your life just breaks you. This could have happened to you going through the cyclone. This could have happened to you in a relationship, in work, with money, family, children, all sorts of things. And when you get that massive hit, it's like a shockwave. It literally numbs you. It literally makes everything in the world not matter. Everything in your personal day, your personal life, not matter. Everything you've been doing that you were interested in, make it not matter. It simply has no relevance, no meaning. It is something I have experienced more than once in my life, and it is overwhelming. It is absolutely, the numbness I feel is the shock, but the numbness is also the overwhelm of what next? What do I do now? How can I fix this? What broke? What is going on? All those kinds of things. And I'm very grateful that I have always had a connection with God, the universe, a dialogue that goes on. I speak, I get answered. Don't always like what I hear, but I recognise a truth for myself to take on board, even if that truth is something that hurts a little bit or that I really didn't want to recognise. I choose to recognise it because truth is truth. You can say, this is my truth. Totally. And we all have our individual truth. However, there is a truth higher than us that is 100% absolute, cannot be argued by any person on the planet. It is known, it is felt within you as absolute truth. And absolute truth is clarity. Like I say, might not be pretty, might not be what we want to see or hear, but truth is truth. And at some level of our being, we know it is truth, and we know we need to take note of it. So if you have had a life-changing experience, you are called on to close the door on the past, and it's not as simple as just closing the door and walking in a different direction. If only we could, that would be great, but we're not robots. And men do seem generally to have a much easier job of being able to do that. So us as females can actually adopt some of those male strategies, frameworks, mindsets, if you like, that can help you to get through the emotion of something huge in your life. Emotion will pull you this way and that. It is, I oppressed, pushed it down, my emotion for most of my life simply because as a child we were not allowed to express emotion. We were punished for even showing happiness. It was good for me because I learned how to shut my emotion off. Of course, when big life events come, they can just smack you around and it can just be all too much and emotions everywhere. Emotions like big storm clouds. Is not a lot you can see. There's only thing you can do is try and weather the storm. So if you are in a state of numbness or are coming out of that state of numbness and overwhelm, my advice personally would be avoid looking ahead. Avoid looking into the emptiness of space as your future. Look at today, look at now, look at what's in front of you that you can do that is familiar, that is normal, routines are great for that. Even just pottering around the property, doing the dishes, tidying something up, cleaning out a cupboard. Cleaning out a cupboard might be a bit drastic simply because if I started to clean things out, they all got binned, everything. Because there is no attachment to anything anymore. There is nothing in those things for you. It is an actual experience of non-attachment, and there is freedom in non-attachment. However, wisdom can take over and say, hang on a minute, you might just need that later. You might just want to use that later. So there are some steps that can help you through a broken life or a broken self. And if your life is broken, your self is broken in some ways. Or maybe you're coping really well, and good on you if you are. There are sometimes times when the remembering of it or a comment will make you kind of like break a little bit again, or have an emotional kind of wave come over you. And to re-steady yourself, to reset yourself, is to go, I talk to myself all the time, and I talk back to myself, have done it forever, get it in my head. Sometimes I have to just speak to myself out loud, okay? And it's about stop, think of something else. I have kind of like made it a practice in my life to just stop anything that I know is going to take me down the rabbit hole, take me down into the abyss, because the abyss is the pits, and it's kind of hard sometimes to get out of that. It is a strategy that I've developed simply just to, okay, I'm going to focus on something that's normal. I'm just going to go and get a bit of fresh air. I'm just going to go for a walk. They're a pet an animal, like seriously, so healing. All of those things and all of those strategies is, please, as much as possible, stop yourself from going into the emotion, thinking about the emotion. And I know your mind's going to go over and over things, but it's, can you fix this right in this moment? Can you do something right in this moment that will make a difference? And if the answer is yes, go do it. If it's going to make a difference. So therefore we've got this texting thing that goes on, and we can have a lot of things to say, and we can just go straight to texting. How many times have you texted and thought, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I could have said that in a better way? I've always said that if you are feeling emotion, and if you're feeling it really strongly, do nothing. Do nothing. That's no texting. That's no talking. That is stay silent. Walk away. There is a guarantee here. When you're in the middle of emotion, you will spew forth all sorts of things. Absolutely. Absolutely justified, absolutely everything. Are you doing it appropriately in an articulate way? Are you doing it with a tone that gives emphasis to what you're saying? And emotion overrides that. It comes out wrong, even if you're forcefully saying something. It generally comes out wrong to the way you wanted it to. It is received wrong by the person because they're only seeing the emotion. Anywho, I have found I have been swallowed by emotion, and I've been swallowed for a long time by emotion. And so my strategy these days is do whatever I can that distracts me, that stops me as soon as I realize it, that kind of turns it into a positive, is not quite where I get to, except when I see something that is an absolute, unmistakable blessing in the whole thing. And they are there. They are always there. Blessings are always there. In the middle of the storm, there is always rays of sunshine. There are always things that you can be grateful for, things that happen that would never have happened, people that you've met that say things that would never ever have happened. There's just a magical energy that comes up when you are in the pit of despair, if you like, when you are beyond redemption of being able to do anything to redeem the situation, yourself, or anything else. Always there are blessings. I have counted so many blessings. They are unmistakably signals that say things will improve. You are being led, guided, helped. There is support for you in every single way you need. It doesn't matter what you're worrying about, whether it is the rent, whether it is the food on the table. Just go, well, how's that going to work? Or how's that going to happen? Or where is that coming from? These are my words, by the way, but you can use your own if you get the drift. You are a magnet. You are a creator. When you are going through a broken period in your life, no matter whether it's just your life or you or both, when you are going through a broken period, there are magical things that happen. Things that, how on earth did that come together? How on earth did that pop up? How did that happen? I would advise a lot to listen to music, and I just mean play music, because I can guarantee you at some point words in a song will draw your attention. Those words have personal meaning to you, okay? So those I feel are the first steps to, if you are feeling broken, and broken is, it's done, you're over, there's nothing left for you in your life. Is this the end of the road? Is there no more? There is always more. You are just at the end of that journey. If you are with a person, it does not mean you are at the end of that journey with that person. It can mean that you are about to start a new journey with that person, a better journey with that person. If there have been issues between you and another person in the past that have been going on for some time, then something had to change. Okay, so let's look at March as the fixer. So March was the fixer. Remember, I also said that there was guidance and help from loved ones in spirit, but also from angelic helpers and spirit helpers that were specialised. I go for specialists in every area that can help with human stuff. So there are 7 altogether I have counted, and they're very effective. So specialists know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. So they can help you in all sorts of ways. So there is guidance, there is giving you direction, little nudges here. You'll find that you actually look at something that you never would have looked at before. And there it is, there's your message. It's the little things that can help you along the way that give you a little bit of kind of hope, a little bit of a glimmer. And then the clouds will come back again. And so you need to reset yourself. And then you'll get the little glimmer. And so the pattern goes until it gets less and less that you get drawn back into that emotional, mental quandary. So I wrote down a few steps that might be helpful to you. Take them as they come for you personally. I myself would have put these in a different order. However, I had a little bit of help with ChatGPT this morning. And I asked the question. The question I asked was, what are the remedies if you are broken? And I actually did it as a self-broken, but can be applied to life as well. And the first step was, there's 12 steps, by the way. The first step was self-realization and acceptance. So it was about acknowledging your state of being, what you're experiencing. This is a reality for you. Do not try to undermine it or think that you should be better than you are. Your experience is totally a journey. No one can tell you how to travel it. In this state, look at mistakes you may have made that have led up to this. This is taking responsibility for your part in things, because, oh yes, you had a part in things. No matter how wonderful you feel you did it, you had a part in it. And I've done this. It was one of the very first things I did, actually, when I think about it, was I looked at what did I do that helped create this situation. And ownership, taking responsibility, can actually help you to not feel so unfairly treated and hard done by. You had a part in it. What was that? Accepting that doesn't mean saying, I'm such a bad person, I did these things. It means, okay, how will you prevent that in the future? Number 2 is to identify your priorities. So it's sort of like what needs to be managed in your life right now. We're only talking right now. When you are really broken, 1 minute is an eternity. When you go from minute to minute, you can go to half hour to half hour. And then you can go this hour, this hour, this hour. And it'll work its way up to this day. I'm taking this day as it comes. But sometimes you've got to start at the seconds and then the minutes. It improves. It improves. Always it improves. A day at a time is a lot easier than seconds and a minute at a time. Okay, it improves. So wherever you're at with that, just look at, do I take things day by day? Do I take it week by week? Do I take it month by month? Am I looking too far ahead? Am I taking this 3 years and I'm aiming for this goal and this goal and this goal? What happens if life changes? Which it often does between then and now. Okay, so when you are back to the drawing board, when you are taking a minute at a time, you're actually more consciously aware of what you are doing, what you're involved with. You're more alive than you were before. You're more involved in the whole creative process than you ever were. So look at what you're creating, what you choose to create out of that moment. We all want love, we all want peace, and we all want harmony. How are you going to do that? So just identify what your priorities are, what needs to be managed, what needs to be improved. Set something short term, like by the morning or by the afternoon, as in a goal. Third one, seek support. Reach out to friends, families, family members, professionals. Like counselling can help a lot. It can seriously help a lot. Some life coaching. I'm available and contactable. It is something we all need a little bit of gentle help and support with. So to contact me for a personal one-on-one reading, it is 027 4166 545, and I do the tarot readings, which can tell you ahead for a couple of months. It can clarify a situation you've gone through. I can tune in on your situation, see the people in it, see the dynamic of what's going on, give you clarity over what I see that can help you find clarity for yourself, give you things to do that will help you through the process as well. So support is really important. And even if your support is watching TV, That's okay. Then create a routine. So routines, I've never been a routine person. I seriously have not been a routine person. But a routine is, okay, for me, I'll go, okay, so this morning I'll get up and I'll do the dishes. Okay? And maybe this needs to be done. But I don't put any pressure. Just, I'll get up and I'll do the dishes. Or I'll get up and I'll have a shower. Whatever little thing that you can do. If you've got a whole routine going, that's cool too. That makes time go. And it says that's the next step. Develop a daily schedule, okay? And that brings structure, safety, stability. That's what you need. You need to feel safe where you are. You need to feel some kind of stability. So routines are good for that. And also include things that are around hobbies and relaxation. There's a lot more forgiveness, please. Forgive yourself, forgive yourself, forgive yourself, forgive yourself. Forgive other people for not knowing any better, for acting out irresponsibly. They're learning. They karmically will have to deal with that, not your problem. See what you're going through as an opportunity to learn more. You always learn more. And it's not about you've got to learn a lesson. It's about what are you discovering that you didn't know before about yourself, about life, about what you're capable of, about how the world works. So growth. So you grow into a better version of yourself through these experiences. Nobody would wish an experience on anybody like this. And the people that have, if they have done you any harm, if they saw you, they would not ever do that again to you. Okay? They just don't understand. Any progress that you make, celebrate it. Any little thing that happens that's kind of coincidental, magical, celebrate it. They talk about being grateful. I just say celebrate it. You're grateful when you celebrate. You're like, wow, this is good. You know, you are already thankful. When you're in a space where there's nothing good, you are actually always automatically thankful. You can do positive reinforcements if you like, if it helps, okay? So stay persistent in what you're doing. Progress takes time, and it will take time. So please give it time. That's only 7 steps. There are 12. But for now, that might be enough. Okay. This is Radio Hawke's Bay, your community radio station, and I will be right back with April's reading.